Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody can hear me. Thanks to Jason for the hand over there. Hope you're all keeping well. As you can see, I've got the Coca-Cola 121 running. So who have we got in the house tonight? Simon, SJ TrainWorld. Good evening. Leslie Gilpin Railways. Hi, Leslie. How are you doing? Finnerton Central Model Railway. Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Hot Dog Pilot Andy. Good evening, sir. Hope you're keeping well. Tom Houston Model Rail. Good evening. Mick 92. Jerry BVR. Wolfsack Scenic PW. Who else have we got in? The whole chat's jumping around all over the place now. Hi, Jason. Thanks for the hand over there. Hope you're keeping well. David Bell. Good evening. How you doing, David? Haunted Halloween Railway. How you doing? That's Jake, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Valerie's here. Good evening, Valerie. John, Piccadilly Model Railways. How are you keeping, John? Ashley, the West Coast Main Line train spotter. Good evening. How are you doing? Yes, that signal man is watching TV. That was the whole idea of having the little blue flickering light in there. Wouldn't happen in real life, but I thought, you know, this is a bit of a fun layout. Gonna make it fun for the kids. I'm not sure if I've got everyone that said hello to everyone, but hello to everyone if I didn't. Oh, Leamington Station, just seen you pop in there. Brian Madden. No, nobody's waiting for pizza tonight, Brian. And I hope you're feeling better soon. Brian texted me around to say he's got a chest infection, so get well soon, mate. Martin O'Keefe, good evening, sir. How are you keeping? Valley 56. No, this is not a Christmas layout. This is a winter layout. Let's be very clear on that. We're not mentioning that word again. Not until after Halloween. Joshua W56, good evening, sir. How you doing? Flymo, how you doing? Yeah, it's a computer that he's watching. Very good, yeah. What happened to your attic layout at home? Where have you been, David? I have moved house again. If you look back, you'll see the video where I moved and what my plans are now. So anyway, tonight I put some of the lights back on now. I did switch some of the lights off so to get more of an effect. There we are. I'll brighten things up a little bit. We don't do Santa jokes. Yeah, they are. There's one thing with the camera is they do make them actually look very bright. They're not actually as bright as they appear on camera. The video that's coming out tomorrow is on how I put people and the interior lights in this, and you will see on there that I need to take the cover off again because there's a bit of light bleed, so I need to paint the inside of it black. Also, you notice when it stops in the station, the lights go out. I was planning to put a capacitor in there, and I was hoping sort of the space under here is usually a hollow space, but they've got actually a weight glued in over the top of it, and I tried to prise it out, and it was just bending, and it was going to snap the chassis. So I thought no, because I was going to stick a capacitor under there because there isn't much space elsewhere without actually seeing it in amongst the passengers. Hi, Peter Jackson. How you doing? So the video's out tomorrow, and you can see what I've done. Just a quick review of it. It's a Hornby DMU Class 121 with a Coca-Cola livery on it, part of their, well, the latest licensing thing they have. So I just painted the interior a little bit, put some people in it, done the lighting on it. It's up and going. So Tonight, what I plan to do is I was writing out a list of little bits of jobs that I have to do on this layout, and I need to make some fencing. I need to get out some more trees and sort out. I've got to try and find the signal box at the other end is missing its roof, so I've got to try and find that. I've got to look at the buildings, put some lights in them. One thing you'll notice around here is it is actually quite bleak and bare without anything else on it. So I'm going to put a few more trees on it. Also want some bare deciduous trees, so trees with no leaves with a bit of snow on them, and also some bushes and that with a little, so I think I need to just have a little bit of snow on it with a bit of green coming through just to break it up, because it just looks a bit too white and it's a bit too plain. I started my water pour, which didn't go very well. There was a leak, and now it's all leaked out. So I'm leaving what's left there to dry, and I'll put a better dam on it and pour again over the next couple of days. So that's made a bit of a mess on top of the workbench here. Yes, David, I have started. I have started a new layout. This is my winter layout for that time of the year. That's going in one of my windows for Christmas. Oh, I said the word now. That's actually sitting on top of what is going to be my new layout base. It's sectional. It's 12 foot by 7 foot. It's going to be 2 levels, tail chaser, 2 or 4 lines running, I'm not sure. Yeah, a few kids on sleigh. That's why I needed some people on there as well. Yeah, naughty corner, I said the word. Yeah, I will be slowing down the speed of the DMU and everything. At the moment I'm using an old Lima controller on there, and it's either goes at that speed or it doesn't go. So I'm going to wire up my Gauge Master, which is a much smoother controller, and that will control the speed. So it's a bit more realistic speed. So that's just basically the way it is for testing. And I see someone was on about the shunter as well. But the reason the shunter stopped where it did is because when I designed this and put the cuts in the track, it was for the DMU, so it would stop in the proper place. On the ABC shuttle, can a point be used in between the cuts in the rail at either end? Well, in theory, yes. If you wanted to put a point in there, you can actually buy shuttles that will actually control the point as well. So you can get them, and they'll control up to 2 points. You could have a point at either end, and it will switch the point. So you could have a single track and have 3 trains on it. So as it goes down, point flicks, another one comes up, then another one changes at the other end, another one comes up. So you can get them. If you look at the DC shuttles on block signaling, they have a whole range of different ones they do. Hi, Mike92. I can't remember whether I said hello to. Hi, Tom, couples. Yeah, Eddie, there you go, skiing down the hill. Yeah, I think it definitely needs a few more people on there. That will help the scene. Hi, Anthony. How you doing? Hi, Kyan. How are you keeping? You make sure Oprah lets you play with those trains. He especially likes it if you play them down on the floor and bash them into each other. Dwayne, Superior Junction Railway, Dwayne Miller. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, so a bit more scenic work to do on there. I've got the pour to do, which was going to be next week's video, but I don't know how this is going. This is the first time I've used scenic water, and it. So I thought I dammed it up really good, but there was just one little point where it all leaked out. It wasn't over the whole section. There was just one little point, and it all dripped out. So it's quite annoying. Walter Hope, Raleigh Railway Enthusiast. Good evening, sir. How are you keeping? There's a lot of new names in tonight I haven't seen. Oh, building a new shuttle layout in Double O. Very nice. I seen your question in Jason Stream Flymo about the weather. We were actually let off quite easy in Donegal with the weather for a change. It seemed to hit the south of the country. We ended up with the eye of the storm going right over us, so it was quite calm. Although today, about 2:30, it absolutely hammered down for about half an hour. So much there was floods of water all over the roads and everything. It was quite a sight to see. Ivo Van's on. I don't think I said hello to you yet. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? All right, just taking a quick drink there. I think the drink of choice tonight is ginger ale from Lidl. Non-alcoholic ginger ale. Oh, your cases went wayward, did they? Sorry to hear that, Leslie. One of my student jobs one time was working as a baggage handler in Bristol Airport. And I remember an aircraft came in from Alicante or somewhere. Came in, we opened up the doors, and all the bags inside it said Stansted. And I was like, well, what do we do with these? And they said, well, we have to take them off and put them on the carousel. I said, what's the point? These people are all coming expecting to be in Bristol, not Stansted. We put them all around, and then they'd be loaded on a van and taken up to Stansted. So you had people in Stansted with no luggage, and you had people in Bristol with no luggage. Hi, Kieran, J94, how you doing? Oh, when you leak in your train shed. Yeah, it's annoying when you got a shed and you can't pinpoint where it's coming in. No, the youngest one coming in through the door going, you on your live? Yes, I am. Well, it's always fun with Rock. I used to really enjoy flying. So I used to be a pilot in a previous life. I used to always enjoy crosswind landings, because that's where the challenge was, to try and land it, side slip it in or crab it in and then kick it straight with the rudder. It's always great fun. John Donahue, good evening. Robert Kennedy, good evening. How are you doing, Robert? Signal Cabin, good evening. How are you doing? Right. Anyway, I think that's enough of that running, because it gets it's a bit noisy and a bit loud. So I'm going to switch that off for now. Leave the lights on. We'll come over. I'll move the camera in a second once I clear space. Everything is just a mess here because I've been trying to do several things at once. So that means everything's out on the side. So I'll just clear a space here, and then I'll show you how I do my fences. I've done a video on this before, but right, I'm just going to move the camera now. So give you a little bit of height. You can see what a mess the area is. So you can see these are some of the Hornby telegraph poles. What I've done is simply give them a brown paint, a little bit of rust on the top, and the insulators just painted them white. So I'm going to use them on this layout between the signal cabins. They're dry, so I'll move them out of the way and I'll put them somewhere. And then I won't remember where I've put them and I'll be trying to find them. And plans to put a CD drive motor in it. What, in the 121? It's a new model. I don't think there's any need for it at the moment. Right, so on to... So this is a fence I made already. So the first thing I need to do is I need to take this one out. So very carefully just undo it. And then I'll show you how I make the fences. Now, if you were looking at these and measuring true scale, yes, they're the right height, but the fence posts would probably be about a foot thick. They would be out of scale, but sometimes when you put stuff on model railway, if it looks right, then it looks right. I'm not an exact scale modeler, although my model is in 00. There you can see the fence there. As you can see, the post have just had a brown wash. And it's just brown thread used for the wire. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So get some matches out. I've got my match cutter. These bits and pieces out. So these are just matches, bridging rope matches, as you can get them almost anywhere. You can buy them online, you can get them in Hobbycraft, you can get them in, you have a school supply shop in town, and you can get them in there. There's hobby shops. Because unlike some of you lucky people who have got model shops not that far away from you, I'll say that I do have a model shop an hour away from me, and he is very good. If he doesn't have it in, he'll see if he can get it for me and order it in. I will try and buy my stuff off him. So if any of you are in Enniskillen, do pop into Modeller's Corner. And he will look after you. So I already got this marked on here, the length I need. So I just put them up there, line them all up. Actually, I'm going to move this over so you can see what I'm doing. One thing when you're working, when you're trying to do stuff on YouTube, is remember that everything is in front of the camera. So there we are. I'll bring that down. I'll just put my hand over it because they do tend to fly up. So you end up with short ones, which I haven't really found a use for the offcuts yet. Sorry, I'm not keeping an eye on the chat if anybody said anything. if you've got any questions, do put them in the chat and keep putting them in until I answer them, or one of the mods might highlight it to me. Or I'll move my phone in front of me so I can glance up at the chat and try not to cut my fingers off at the same time. See, if I was anyway prepared, I would have done this already. But today was one of those days where I seem to be chasing my tail all day. Yeah, I think this little matchstick cutter is basically just a sharp blade, almost like an old type shaving blade in there. I think it cost me about a tenner on eBay. Right, so I've cut a few there. I'm probably gonna have to cut a few more, but so basically I've got this piece of wood here, just about 2x1, and I've drilled holes in it along the center there, and they're a scale space of 8 foot apart. So that's what, 24 mils apart. So just about an inch. So that gives a scale distance of 8 foot. And I just take matches and pop them in the holes. I don't push them all the way in, because then I use the other board to make sure they're all at the same height. And it's a great way you can just make loads of fencing. I got 2 of these bits of wood, so I can do 2 at a time. Put the thread on for the wire, glue it in place, leave it to dry, and then the next day go back to it, paint it, and then the next day go back to it and take it apart and start all over again. So you've seen all these fences all over the place on the layouts in the museum. And on my home layouts, right, I need another 2. I've already made 2 already, and I know I need another half a one for the distance that I want it to cover. €100. What do you, is that like using T-springs or something like that, Jerry? Because what you need to do if you want something like that is keep an eye on it, because sometimes they do free international shipping, which cuts down the price. And I know our customs guys seem to be very hot on anything coming from the States. They seem to grab it and charge you an extortionate amount of duty on it. So, got all the matchsticks cut in there. And then here, get that in shot. So I've got a piece of wood there. I've got nails there. That's to guide the where I put the threads for the spacing. And then you'll see on here is, I got it just below there, is a pencil drawn line. So what I do is I get this, put that up, and then I tap it to the top of this, meets that line, and then that gives me a 6 foot fence post. Do you put in a strainer post? Yeah, when I'm putting the fences in, yeah, I can put a strainer post in. You mean one of those that's sort of 45 degrees up? Yeah, of course, what I need to tap it in is my hammer. Do I have my hammer? No, of course I don't. What have I got that will substitute as a hammer? I got my track pin hammer, that'll do. So it's going to be a couple of taps now, guys. So. Push that one in a bit too far. There you go. Now you can see all the fence posts are the same height. And of course, when I paint them, then the bottom of the fence post is unpainted, so I know how to stick them in the ground. Good way to create wooden posts from matchsticks is to soak them in warm water with a tea bag. Oh, that's a good idea. All right, so that's there in. There. Brown thread. This is where if my missus is watching, she's going to go, that's my expensive thread you're using. Because my missus' hobby is doing a bit of sewing and seamstress and making things, so. But it's not her thread because I bought it especially. And we just lay it down between the pins. And you notice I'm putting these clips on the end. That's purely so I lay it over a corner and that puts tension on the string to hold it in place. And I really need to redo this because some of the pins have got a little bit bent. And you just make sure they're all lined up and all touching. And then just repeat with however many wires you want on it. Lost the end. There it is. And the final one. So this is just an easy way of making fencing. I know some people go, well, fence posts, you usually see the wire going through the fence posts. And actually, you don't around here. Most times if you're out in the countryside, the wire is actually pinned to the fence. It's not actually going through, not like you would have maybe in a town where you'd have the concrete posts with the wire strung between them. That's more of a security fence than anything else. So countryside fencing, most of the time, it's pinned. Right, and then if you need to move the thread around, just a cocktail stick or skewer just to make sure it's in the right position. Right. That's it. Right. Now what it is then is a little bit of glue and a brush. And Which brush am I going to ruin tonight with PVA glue? Dab on there. You don't need much. It's just a matter of just a little blob on the thread. Just to keep it in place, and then leave it to dry overnight. And once it's dry, then you can lift it off and paint it. And this is how I make my fences. I can also use this jig then, instead of putting threads in, but putting in cross members. So putting matches across it, or coffee stirrers, cut them into strips, or balsa wood, which I've used before. But it's the difficult bit with that is trying to get it into a straight enough strip. Just managed to pause here. The easiest way to do this is actually have this on the corner of a table, so these weights actually keep the thread taut while you're putting the glue on. Makes it a little bit easier. But I'm sort of confined with space in here at the moment, so trying to do it the difficult way. Thread just... Sorry, I still haven't mastered that skill of doing something and talking at the same time. Although I don't have my tongue poking out at the moment. So who's excited for Gets? I know I am. What was it now? Maybe about 2 weeks away, is it? Must be 2 weeks Saturday, is it? Right, that's the glue in. Just leave that to dry now. Where did I get my mic from? It's a Rode wireless mic. Very expensive, but very good. I actually have the set with 2 mics, so if I'm doing interviews or whatever, both of us can be mic'd up. Yeah, they seem to work really well once you learn how to use them and adjust them. Can't wait for some time away. Yeah, I'm the same. Just it'll be me, my eldest daughter. I'm just looking forward to having a single bed and sleeping. I will be bringing my camera to Gets and that, but I don't think I'm going to be doing much filming because there'll be so many other people doing recording it. I just really want to have a look at it and just have my camera with me in case there's someone I want to do a bit of a video with or something like that. Or if there's something I particularly want to video because I like what they've done and I want to look at it closely when I get home. Yeah, it is a very good mic, but I say it is expensive. I think they're The single set is about 150 and the double set is about 260 or something like that. May have gone up or down since I got it, but right. What else is on my list to do now? Right. So I'm going to do some more of the trees. So I'm going to lift this up out of the way. And you can see then with the clips on there, it just holds the wire, the thread taut, so it gives it a chance to glue. So if I put that on the edge, that'll hang down. That should be good to go. Right, let's clear a space. I'm going to get some more of those trees. We're going to put some more snow flock on them. I'm not going to use the Woodland Scenic machine for flocking because I think for the trees, I didn't really like the effect it done for the trees. It was a bit much. So I have got some, all right, let me get the flock and bits and pieces together. Right, do you know what would be useful as well? Is the trees. The Church of Mark getting his flock together. Not a cult. Right, I got, there's a couple of different types of little trees I got here. I'm going to put some, I'll see the traditional sort of fir trees, evergreen trees. These look more deciduous trees, but I'm going to put a little bit of snow flock in there. I know they wouldn't have leaves on them in winter, but I just want to see how they look. More trees in here than I thought. Oh, this place will be smelling of hairspray in no time. Oh, there's some bigger ones in here. That's good. They're a darker green as well. Right, so I'm going to use some of the snow scatter, which is, I think, really it's 0.5 millimeter grass. So this is going to be one of those jobs where I think I'm going to need about 3 hands. So that over to the side. And remember, when you're spraying your glue on, this time it's hairspray, don't do it on the area you're working on because you want to be able to pick up that flock and use it again. If you spray it on there, it's all going to stick and clump and it'd be a bad job, as we would say. Where's the sprinkle? One would be better to use. That's great. It's just. Oh. Right, let's lose the sieve then. There we go. I think that actually looks better because the last time I think I used the 2mm scatter on it. I think it looks quite good there. So I'll put that to one side. And I'm going to try one of these deciduous looking trees just to see how it looks. But this might look more like a yew tree, which I think is an evergreen, but looks more like a deciduous. Looks a bit different. And I think this is one of these hornbeam trees. Again, we'll have a look at that, see how that looks with the scatter on it. I mean about not spraying the area you're working on, you can just scoop it up and use it again. There we go. I reckon that actually doesn't look too bad. I wonder, could you use talc? I think talc might be a bit too fine and it would probably clump together more. But so give it a go, Jerry, let us know. I'm doing now is just giving them a spray of hairspray just to fix them in place. At the same time, trying not to blast off what I put on there. Right, so these are a darker green. So let's try one of these. Remember, you got to try and put this on from all different angles, so from top. There we go, that actually looks quite good. I think that actually looks better than those ones. So let's do a few more of these. It's like icing a cake. Yeah, I think the darker foliage, it looks best, to be honest. So what I might try and do with these ones is actually put darker flock on them first, darken them up a bit, and then put the white on them. Right, let's get some more of them out. Actually, I'm going to carry on and use them. I've got a few more of them here. Yeah, the lighter tree foliage looks too regular, yeah. I don't even know where I got these from. So I'll do these few, and then we can have a look at something else. Yeah, it needs fixing on. I don't think you want too much white on them, because in reality, they only have a certain amount of snow on them, because if it gets too much snow, it just falls off. It gets too heavy, branches bend and it slips off. Where I got these bigger trees? These ones, you mean, Jerry? If you do, I have no idea. I just have a box here where I've put all my trees in, and where I've got these from, I have no idea. I don't know where they've come from. They've obviously made, because they've got the little root base on them. So one thing I find is, you look at trees, they just seem really expensive. Yeah, what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to finish these off, and then I'm going to dig out my seafoam, and I just want to put snow on one of them just to see how it looks. Obviously, we want some deciduous trees there as well. Can you get high on hairspray? I mean, once these are actually in place, I can go over them again with a bit of a covering of snow. But I think they're all not looking too bad. Yeah, thanks, Peter. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, guys, and subscribe if you're new here, and put any questions or comments in the chat, or if you're watching back, and put it in the comments. But I really want to get this layout done, so I can crack on with my main layout. You can see what the stuff is there. It's just 0.5 mil white scatter. I'm just going to force giant. Is it 150 for a first class stamp now, is it? Oh dear. The thing is, as I spray on some hairspray to seal it in, it blows a certain amount off. Close-up cow, far away cow. Yeah, perspective. Like, I know people like Father Ted. Thought it was a comedy show, but when you're living in Ireland, it's more of a documentary than. Every parish seemed to have 3 priests: the young curate, the parish priest, and then some older priest. My parish in Donegal here wasn't any different. Right, let's dig out a few bits of seafoam. Well, these are looking a little bit flat. I'm not particularly. This is just a trial just to see how it looks. So one here. I'm just going to remove the seed pods. What I like to do with my seafoam trees is some of them I will take them out and I will spray them brown. And some of them I will just leave their natural color. So I'm going to spray this, put some of the white on and just see how it looks. Because what we're looking here is for, like, obviously a deciduous tree during winters have no leaves on it, but it still can get covered in snow. Voila. I think that looks like a frost-covered tree, don't you? Yeah, I am giving them another spray, Jason. That's what I'm saying, is when you give it another spray, you knock a certain amount of it off. What I do, Peter, is for making them, is I use the hairspray, and then when I've done with them, is I give them a spray, the layering spray, and that locks everything in place. Yeah, that looks quite good. So I think what I'll do is I'll put them on the layout when I want them, then I'll put a bit more over it, and then I can lock it in then with either the scenic spray or some layering spray. Again, I ended up with some of this. I don't know where it came from, because I don't think I would have bought this, because it's basically watered down PVA, which I can do myself. But right, time for a quick drink to get the taste of hairspray out my mouth. I'm trying not to get any flock in the bottle. Yeah, there's a nice mix of trees there now. So, you know, I think that'll help break it up. And say what I might do with these is they're a very bright green. They look almost too perfect. They're like something you would find in a garden. Yeah, well, the smaller bushes, like what I use for the smaller bushes is usually like the clump foliage. So putting some of that over that, yeah, it should work. But yeah, there's a nice mix of trees there now. Right, so that's those a few trees done. Probably will need more for the layout, but once I've done the river and I can do the more scenics. I can tell you, Brian, that the layering spray, I don't know what it is. I wish I knew what it was to see if you can get it cheaper, but it does work really well and it does do a good job. Yeah, there is a difference between PVA and scenic cement. I think PVA is more like, or the scenic cement is more like a latex glue as opposed to PVA. Yeah, as I was saying, Anthony, so I use it for making the trees and then I lock it all in with some layering spray or scenic cement. Right, what's next on my list? Signal box roof, I can't do that at the moment. Yeah, I was going to do some bushes. Yeah, we do have a lot of moisture over here, to be fair. There was definitely a lot of moisture today, about half two. Right, so I'm going to lift these off and just put them over on the bit of the layout that I've done. Just going to leave them there. And then I can drill some holes and decide where I'm going to put them. Right, so if anybody does have any questions, pop them into the chat now, so I can have a quick look at the chat after I put these trees over, just to see if there is anything anybody wants to ask. Apologies if you have put it in the chat and I haven't seen it. Sometimes the chat moves fairly quickly. And as I said, I struggle to do more than one thing at a time. Oh, you're allergic to latex, are you, Flyman? Yeah, I've seen you can actually buy the seeds. But I'm going to have to find a container to put that in. There's some green mixed in with it, and I don't want to put it back into the pot. What was it said about the seeds there? Brian. Was it Brian? No. Ivovan. Yeah, has anyone ever had any success in growing it? Yeah, it's acrylic based, is it, Jason? Ah, right, okay. Oh, Clive grew some, did he? That's true. All sea foam does come with seeds on it. There are seeds on it. You know what? Let's try and plant some of them, see what happens. Oh, right, let's put that away. Right, who wants to see the mess I made of my water? Oh, sorry, I just banged the mic there. Sorry if that was in anybody's ears. I think seafoam is already dried out, and I've seen people use plants from their garden, like twigs and is it like elderflower? Those dried out. Yes, let's see the mess. Right, okay. I thought Brian would want to see. There it is there. So it was all in here. There was one tiny little leak over here, and the whole lot bloody leaked out down there, and there's a run all the way under. So what I've done is I've actually lifted this up on blocks so it doesn't stick to it when it sets. So hopefully when that sets, I can just scrape it off. Or so obviously the bead of glue I put along there must have been a tiny little gap in it, and it all leaked out from there. Oh, Clive, Newland Radio. We just been talking about you. I believe you grew some sea foam. Yeah, so I'm going to leave what's left in there to set. So hopefully 24 hours it'll set. Take this off, redo it, and do another pour. Because up here, the top bit, where I put some water effects there in to create a dam. It mustn't have been a complete seal because some of it has leaked down, which I'm hoping it'll just leave like a wet effect on the rocks. Tell them the tide's gone out. Yeah, it was annoying because it was just down one end. Must have been a tiny little gap, and it all leaked out down there. And I was like, bloody hell! Like it's the mess it's made. And apparently, this scenic water doesn't set completely hard. It always remains slightly liquid. So you've got to keep everything stored level, or else it will run even when you think it's set. And it reacts with PVA glue as well, apparently. So I don't know how that's going to work. Okay, Anthony, take care. I'll hopefully catch up your stream tomorrow night. Yeah, you probably used the proper resin though, did you, Jason? The stuff you mixed together. This is just, you pour it out of the bottle. Like there is no heat off that. Well, you can see here at the back, I have this rock face that I built. So you can have a couple of waterfalls coming down there. I've been using the water effects. So this is the first one I've done. So it'll just sit on there like that and do the effects around the bottom. Yeah, I think you'd be right, Wolfsack, using a proper resin than that. But I've sort of started now, so I'm going to stick with this stuff for now because I've got a couple of bottles of it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Weed is for smoking. Yeah, the Mod Podge usually paint on to make ripples and that sort of thing. And then I've got the water effects, again from Woodland Scenic, which you use for making the waterfall. So you get a piece of... but I'm also going to use the water effects for making icicles. And you've got to... Move the camera a minute. So you have a piece of greaseproof paper. You draw out the length that you want and you pour it on, and then you just, in theory, peel it off. Now, one thing I noticed with this is it actually takes the pencil marks off. And so you end up with that. I don't know if you can see that, the pencil marks stuck to what's supposed to be the waterfall. Oops. So, I mean, it doesn't matter about this. I'm going to redo it anyway, but this was just a test. So the idea is then stick that on, then go over it with a bit of dry brushing. I mean, as it is there, it actually doesn't look too bad on camera. You know, some things look better on camera than they do in real life. This will be one of them. But also what I've done on there is I've done some little bits. Even little bits like, sorry, like that, which you can hang off. I'll hang off some of the rocks there. They look like icicles. And again, dry brush with a bit of white. And it should look quite effective. That's the plan anyway, but it feels like this layout is going on forever. I thought it would be a quick one, easy to do, but I'm just making it more and more complicated. £1 litre of resin with fire cost me £9 posted. Yeah. See, that's the other problem I have, is getting something like that posted can be a problem, because a lot of them, well, one, they won't post it to the Republic of Ireland, and two, sometimes they're a bit funny about posting it to Northern Ireland. So I might see, if this doesn't work out well, I might see what I can pick up when I'm in Gats, because I'll have a suitcase so I can take it back with me. And it's like, 2-year-old nose is a bad cold. So I think once we have the resin in here and put the viaduct in and do the snow and icicles, I mean, this is the thing that's going to take the longest time now. It's because this is going to be done over a few days. Because I can't do any of the scenic stuff, because I can't allow any of that to fall on there when it's wet. I can hear all sorts of arguments going on out in the hallway about the heating and the... Right, I think I might call it a day there, guys, because not much more I can do here except clean up this mess. But we got some trees done tonight. We've got another thing of fencing done. We're in good shape, I think. What do I plan to do for the bridge edging? Well, it's the Metcalfe viaduct that's going here, and I'm going to have to add a little bit of the stonework along the edges here, and then on top of that will be just the Metcalfe walling. And then between the road and the rail, there's going to be that fence running down, and then there's going to be posts, telegraph posts, and then filled in with scenics in between it and snow. Yeah, actually, the waterfall, I got to admit, the waterfall looks bad. I'm looking at the picture over here, and it looks better on camera than it does in real life, which is great if I want to just show this on live streams and not take it to shows. But I'd say that is like the first try at making the waterfall, so a little bit more practice, it should be okay. So I'll just, before I shut down the stream, I'll just show you over here. So this is going to be the sort of town scene. So I've got some more buildings to go here. I need to sort that out. So that'll be a street scene. Need to get them all to the right size, blend in the road, put some double yellows down there, some parked cars. I've got some of those little cars that have got lights in them, so I can wire them in so they can be lit up as well. So a little bit more work to do on this. So if I can get this done, then I can just blast through with the scenics, get that done, and then we're away. And then just paint the front of it, put some fascia on the front of it to hide the bits I don't want to be seen, and that'll be it. So I'll say video out tomorrow on the DMU 121, how I put lights in it and people in it. And then next week's video is supposed to be the water feature, but we'll see how that goes. That might be delayed by a week. A lighted Christmas tree. Okay, I'll check that. Thanks, Ivo. Yeah, so don't forget the like button on your way out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you all next week. So good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I say I'll catch you all next week. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new here. Yeah, I just seen the ping there. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for that. John Swanee, thanks for that. Yeah, no such thing as a quick layout build, although you do make it look super quick and easy. Thanks for the stream. I see, John, I make all the mistakes, so you don't have to. So good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next week. New video out in the morning. Bye.